welcome to the Conscious Crew podcast. I'm DJ Marty, and today we have a few guests here. We have Cindy Collins, Arena, and Rodney down the end. Our topic for today is finance, so how to save that money, or at least invest wisely with that money. First, we want to shout out to our sponsors. We've got Des Moines Brothers Entrepreneur. We've also been working along with Fong's Pizza, Court Avenue Restaurant and Brewing, Inner Space down here in downtown Des Moines, and the Copper Cup, also on 4th Street, downtown Des Moines. Thank you to all of our sponsors. Go check them out. Been a huge support to this podcast. Also, be sure to check out ConsciousCrewMovement.com, where you can find all of our blogs as they roll out, and you can also find more of these episodes and some more information about us as a collective. I'll go ahead and let Arena bring it in. She is the one that brought this awesome topic to the table. So what you got for us today?
Well, first of all, how many of us have had some type of financial problems in our life?
Shmee.
Everybody. I mean, everybody who is living has had some type of problem. Or
what about Donald Trump, though?
He got problems too. That's why we ain't seen his ass. I'm just saying my opinion.
All right, fair enough.
But a lot of the problem starts from people, living paycheck to paycheck and not feeling like they have anything to start saving with. And that is the most important thing, is to actually start a savings. How many of you guys have savings? You do?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You guys are so responsible.
Yep.
No, I've had a savings before. I'm starting to focus on building it back up. No, you are.
Okay.
I had one, and then I had a crisis come up where I had to use my savings, and now I'm kind of getting everything fixed to where I can start saving again.
But that's good, because you had it to utilize when you needed
I did,
to.
and it was absolutely necessary. And now, I mean, it's hard living in that survival mode where you're like, okay, I could get a flat tire. Can I even buy a new tire right now? I'm a paycheck to paycheck person right now.
Well, then you start robbing Peter to pay Paul to take care of things.
Absolutely.
And then you end up digging yourself into a ditch. But starting with nothing or having that savings is going to be the most beneficial to a person day in and day out. And so we need to start with that. What are some of the type of things you guys have tried in the past to save money?
I've tried when I have my paycheck direct deposited, I tried putting a percentage into my savings account right away.
So
but
it
then
didn't exist to you.
Right, but it did, because all I had to do was hit a button to transfer it back over on the app. So, I mean,
My savings that I have set up aside from my main bank, like I bank at Wells Fargo, but my credit union is where I keep my savings. It has nothing attached to it. There's no ATM card. There's no checkbook. There's no nothing. Once that money is there, it doesn't exist to me.
You'd have to go to the bank to get it.
Right. But
Okay.
even when I go to the bank to get it, I make sure that they have forms of ID. So I just can't go in there and be like, I need money. Like I have it. Nothing can come out of that savings account. You can't.
Wow.
I can't call and have, I need this payment made. Nobody can send in for a payment to be direct deposited out of it or anything. There's nothing that can. And that's because that's my life savings. And if something happens to that, it's gone. And so having it to where nobody can get to it is very important to me. And not being able to just push that button to have it transfer or, available to you is important to cut that piece out of it too.
So the paperwork and stuff that you have to sign, what are the reasons that would allow you to go in and get that money out? What would it be for you? What would it take for you to go into that savings account?
I would have to be real hungry. Like I can't go in there for any reason to get it out. I can go in there and take it out, but I make it not exist to me. So if
that's what I do.
Yeah,
that's
it
perfect.
cannot. I mean, if I'm hungry, I'm gonna have to pick up some extra hours. Sorry,
Oh, no,
or
you
I'm
get
gonna have to cash in some cans or whatever. This is my budget. This is what I spend, and when it's gone, it's gone. And I can't just go into my savings and pull anything out.
So what do you plan what's that savings going to be used for you?
I don't know.
A rainy day.
It's my life.
Or
savings.
is it like retirement money?
No, I have retirement plans, so it's just, it would have to take something, me and my husband both have to agree, like, I can't just go pull it out without, we have to know what's going on together, and so we both would have to approve that amount, the money to be taken out of there. Like, I know we want to go on vacation, but I've been saving my pennies and saving cans and taking stuff into the consignment store, and we've been cleaning out, so I've been selling all that stuff, so my vacation's paid for. So now I don't have to even go in there and take it out for vacation. Anything I can do to not touch that money is the important piece of this.
Would you ever put it like would that be an investment fund?
I don't know. I'm
You're not really
cheap, I'm
you're not an
scared, I'm
entrepreneur
nervous.
like that?
Yeah,
Okay.
no, I want to keep it. It's mine. I don't want nobody taking a percentage of
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
I'm gonna add on to what you were saying. What I do is I take 10% of what I make, and then I call it like tithing to myself, like you know how you would tithe to the church, or I tithe to myself, and I do the same thing that you do. It just doesn't
It
exist.
does not exist.
You know, if somebody asks me, "Hey, you want to go out?" Nope, broke.
Or I pick
You-
up extra hours,
Yeah.
or I do something that makes me be able to not have to dip into that money.
Perfect.
And the thing, the whole saving pennies and saving change, that is a very important piece in my vacation. It's important in my school shopping for the kids and stuff like that. I'm able to do almost all of that off cashing in cans. I pay for my daughter's whole first year of college off cans, because we took the cans, which were donated through friends. I would pull them out the garbage cans, everything, anywhere I
Wow.
can find
Wow.
cans. And we took those and we got bonds as well. So I put half in her college fund and half in bonds that she still hasn't cashed out, that will be there for her later, which cost me nothing. So that $25 bond that I got is now worth $50, and it cost me nothing to get that bond for her.
That's awesome.
And
That's
so,
amazing. And you help with recycling and being
Clean it up,
sustainable.
Reduce, reuse, recycle.
Yep.
So
That's
about the the savings. So when you have it sitting in an account like that, is that just a regular savings account for you, or do you look for like a mutual fund or any kind of thing like that, where maybe you or a CD, something that yields a little higher interest?
Yeah, and those do exist. I just have had this account since I was in 5th grade, and so it just.
Well, that says something.
So I
though.
was going to
That
ask you, like,
says-
when did you start saving? I mean, have you always been?
No. I just not recently. I started saving. My son's 14. We did our financial journey at about 16 years ago. Is when this all started, because I was a single mom. My daughter's biological father was deceased. It was just me. I had nothing. I was hospital bills were piling up. My credit was horrible. And one day, after me and my husband got married, I'm done. We have to start from scratch. And so we shut off all of our cell phones. We had no cable. And a lot of people like to go make a list of what they're going to have for dinner and go shopping. I shopped off what was on sale. I buy what's on sale. People will make a list, and this is what I'm eating for the week. I go in there, and if meat's on sale, we're having Sloppy Joes, we're having hamburgers, we're having spaghetti. I shop from what's on sale. But no, originally it was, I wish I could say I started in 5th grade, but I did for a little bit there, but my financial journey started about 15, 16 years ago. And that's when I was down and out, and I had nothing. My credit score, oh my goodness.
So that's another thing, is people, they don't want to do without anything,
Yeah.
So
It's hard.
I'm even looking at my budget like, do I really need this cable TV? Because sometimes you have to sacrifice to balance
I
that
haven't had
budget,
cable.
so that way you can build that savings. You know what I mean? And they say, don't save what's left. Make saving a part of your budget or your financial plan.
It has to be. It has to be.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times we do, I could put this $50 away, but I can go out tonight, and so
Yeah.
it has to be, like you said, it's a bill, it's a debt, basically, to your paying into yourself.
Yep.
Right, and that's beautiful how you're doing it for your kids too. They say you should
Yes.
have a
That
little
was
fun.
the most exciting thing was being able to pay, and she went to DMAC, which is, 2-year college. And so being able to pay for that whole first year in cash, no debt for her, was amazing.
That is amazing. Absolutely.
What's some other things you did did you do more besides just take the bills and what's some other tips that people could get?
Well, when I first started my financial journey, I didn't have the money to buy the Dave Ramsey books.
I like that guy.
Yeah,
I did
he
not have the
puts
money,
people in their place.
Right.
I've been listening for a while.
but I didn't have the money to to purchase the book. So I kind of went online and I kind of researched a little bit of his ideas and just kind of came up with my own. But that snowballing, have you ever heard of that?
Yeah.
In an emergency fund, $1,000
Oh.
emergency fund first.
Oh,
Yeah.
it is life changing. It is just life changing because you take and you do your debt from based on interest rates, how much is owed, how long you've had it, and you make a list of how you want to pay it off. So every time you pay off your first one, let's say you pay $100 a month, now that goes down to your second one once that's paid off, and you just collect. It's like a snowball. It keeps getting bigger and bigger.
So the theory is basically to pay the smallest debt first.
Depending on the interest rate. Because you can have you have to,
I thought he says
So if the debt is like $475, but the interest rate is 27%, that's going to be more of a debt. I mean,
so. Basically,
in the long
what
run.
he says, from my understanding, is say you got 3 debts. One's $200, and your payment's $50. You got a second one that's $1,000, and the payment's $100. And you got a third one that's $1,500, and your payment is $125.
right.
You pay the $200 off first, and you're making your minimum payments here. So you pay the $200 off, then you can take your $50 payment from the $200
Right.
and apply that. So you're paying $150 on your first one, on your second one.
Right.
So it just stacks that way, so you can pay more on each one instead of trying to just pay those minimum payments and pay an extra $20 on each one. His theory is to pay off the smallest one and apply that whole payment onto your next debt.
And for me, it
I
was,
like that.
I did mine, like I said, I couldn't afford to get the whole book thing, but I sat down and I based mine off the interest as well, just because sometimes those interest rates, they'll kill you. I mean, you're making $100 payment, but $100 of it is going to interest. It's not benefiting you. So, and a lot of people forget too, when you make those extra payments, put it to principal payment only. A lot of people will,
oh yeah.
because you're paying
Pay
interest
ahead.
based on the principal of it, and so you want to keep bringing
So
that
if you have
down.
like a car payment or something, you want to make sure that the extra payments are going towards the principal.
Yes, principal payment only.
Okay.
Good information. That's good
Absolutely.
information.
And I would say another thing, one way that recently, because I've been trying to pay off debt and start a savings, and does he say that you should have a savings before you start paying off debt? Because
Yes.
I've been trying to build my credit. Basically, my future goal is to buy a house. So I want to have a savings, obviously, improve my credit.
The
So
first
does
thing that he
want-
says
the first thing,
is the
does he say the
$1,000.
savings is
$1,000 is the emergency
because you
savings.
need an emergency
Okay, yeah,
savings,
I remember now.
right? Which I used to have, and then I don't.
But you can get that built back up.
But I do remember when I
Gotta
had a
sacrifice.
savings and everything. One thing, we lived we lived way below our means pretty much, like my family did. And one thing is, like, we went to the library a lot. Like, there's things that you can do for free. They have, like, free movies in the park. There's a lot of different things that you can do to save money and still entertain, like, your family and stuff like that. The Urbandale Library has movies, video games, books, classes, all kinds of stuff. So, I mean,
Parks are always free.
parks. There's a lot of different things that you can do, and cooking at home is a huge one for me.
Me too. Yep.
Man, you can get some
But
rice.
we've
Get
been-
you a rice machine.
And that's one
Yeah,
thing.
rice, vegetable, meat.
I'm
You know what I'm
guilty.
saying?
The reason I
Or
don't
noodle,
have
sauce, meat. You know what I'm saying? Or you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So yeah, you
absolutely.
can
I've
still
been
have
going
good
out to
meals.
eat a lot lately, and it's been horrible.
It
The
is.
cost.
It really adds up. I was looking at my bank account the other day, and I'm just like, okay, food.
Right.
$30
Tips.
at a a restaurant. That's one meal. $30 at the grocery store.
It's a
That
couple.
stretch you. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That
Right.
gets you a
Plus
few days.
leftovers.
I really like that theory of buying what's on
on
sale.
sale.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It saves me a ton of money. But the other thing too is, when people say I don't have anything to save, yes, you do. It became a game for me, and so it was like, okay, let's say I used VO5. Okay, where do you think that is the cheapest at?
If I had to think, the dollar store.
Well, all these.
Could be Dollar Tree.
No.
Maybe Walmart.
No, Menards.
Really?
Wow.
It's 98
Wow.
cents at Menards.
Nice.
There's this app called Crazy Coupon Lady, and they will tell you like where you can actually get. You can kind of mix and match coupons and stuff at places like Menards. That's a weird place that you can mix and match coupons. Walgreens, and you'll end up actually getting cash back on things. There's also this app called Ibotta, Ibotta, and it's kind of works like reverse couponing. So let's say you go to Walmart and you get the stuff on the app. You upload your receipt and you'll get like $1 back on yogurt or,
Ooh.
you know, they usually have combos where you can buy chips, salsa, and like a bottle of liquor or something, and you get $5 back, or shampoo, $1.50 back, and you upload it to the app later instead of giving the cashier coupons. And it's a really, really good app.
Nice.
And I've actually gotten like, after one grocery store trip, just from buying stuff on the app, I've gotten like $20 cash back, and you can either
See,
get
that's a savings.
right into your
That's
bank account.
$20.
That's true. That is real money. I got real money in my bank account.
This is info that I did
Right.
not know.
I'll show
it's-
you guys the app later.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's finding, so if you knew you spent $1.05 on VO5 and now you paid 98 cents, you take that little bit it doesn't seem like anything, but it adds up so fast, and over the year it really, really does. But you have to write it out, you have to know what you're doing, you have to know, be able to see it so you know what you're working with and what you're saving each time. But by doing that, I mean, it just adds up fast. If you get a coupon for a haircut, I know people like to go to certain places, but sometimes it might be like, well, this month I'll use the $7.95 coupon and I saved $10. And so you take that $10 and you put it into that savings. And anytime you can save anything, it goes into that emergency savings. Another thing that I like to do is Christmas time. Christmas time. It sounds crazy, but my mom gives us money for Christmas. Or I will use that for the boys. I will have her take, so they each get $50 per grandkid for Christmas. So I have her get them a $25 gift, and then I have her give them a $25 bond.
That's nice.
So
That's
there's all
awesome.
kinds of little things that you can do to keep that savings growing. Or if people are like, what do you need for Christmas? Well, I always need toilet paper. I always need paper towels. Things that you're going to need all the time. I use birthdays and Christmas time to try to get those.
And
to
then,
benefit me as well.
and then when you have that for me, like having that nest egg, energetically makes you feel like
Yeah.
you have it. So that from like an energy perspective, it'll attract more.
And it relieves stress when you know
Yeah.
that it's there.
Oh yeah, it's
It
very
takes away
stressful. I would say like my stress has increased by so much not having that. It's different. You're in survival mode. But this is a good topic because this is really I feel inspired right now to just get on track. There are things that I've been doing that I shouldn't be doing with my money recently. So, like signing up for an unlimited car washes at Mr. Car Wash. I have a membership though. I got my car washed twice in 2 days. But I don't need that.
Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about that. So we talked about some things we should do. What are some things that we shouldn't do? So, I mean, I know that like Dave Ramsey, he's big on never buy a lease, a fleece, what he likes to call it, is that, you're never going to own anything. So always try to get away from car loans, even if you need to sell your car off for a car that you can take the equity and pay for it in cash. Car loans are a no-go. I know you said stay out of the pawn shops. The pawn shops are so high interest and they'll just kill you there.
No payday
Oh,
loans.
that's what I was
The
gonna
payday
say.
loans.
Payday loans. I
Horrible.
grew up watching adults in the payday loan spiral. It is so hard to get out of. So I knew right away, never do a payday loan. Ever. That was just that doesn't count as a savings.
No.
That should not
Things
be your
to not
emergency
do
savings.
also is try not to spend emotionally. Like some people,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you'll be like, oh, if you're having a bad day, you're going to go, oh, well, we'll just go out to eat. Or we'll just go buy stuff and, like, blow money, make yourself feel better. That's
Because it's that
things you-
instant gratification you're looking for.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the thing not to do.
So get
Definitely
write your
heal.
list. Right.
yeah. Yeah.
You'll want to heal that root problem.
Right. Yeah.
That's,
yeah.
I mean,
absolutely.
compulsive spending, compulsive buying.
Compulsive eating.
I mean, all of that is. just
Well, that's the
really
trouble.
honestly.
Like, not to get off topic, but like, a lot of money issues come with the fast life that we live now. You know, everything's so you're like, okay, I can sit and make a budget, or I can just day to day buy the meal in the moment. You know, okay, I don't feel like cooking. I've been working 12 hours. You know, so how do you balance that? How do you balance that and that?
I would say, I mean, first realize that you have a problem. I mean, it is an issue. It's like any other type of addiction you might have. And I mean, maybe, you know, start working on healing those parts of yourself that needs that gratification constantly. I mean, I think when you spend money, it causes a dopamine increase in the brain. The same thing as getting a Facebook like on a picture. It's that hit, like when you go buy something. Sorry.
Yep.
I mean, I feel it when I'm in Ulta and I check out and I got my stuff and I feel good, and then later the guilt kicks in.
Yeah.
Like, I really should not have just spent $70. I have no business spending $70 in Ulta right now.
How much time do you say you guys put into your budgeting a month?
I do mine every week.
Every week? How
Every
much time?
week? Wow. You
Yeah.
on it.
How much time do you
I
think?
do once a month.
You know, it depends on what week it is, if it's bill week, if it's, you know, what's going on. But I mean, even 15 minutes a week, just sitting down, knowing what you have, because a lot of people can't tell you exactly how much money they have coming in. And if you can't tell me how much you exactly down to the dollar you have coming in, then how can you tell me how much you can spend?
I could never tell you
Perfect.
that because my income varies every single time I work.
Okay.
Because I do bartending, serving, contracting jobs, and my income is always different.
So you would
That's
have to kind of lowball everything.
Right, I would have to lowball based on like an average that I make. The other thing is that I wanted to get into a little bit is I feel like some of Dave Ramsey's ideas are a little outdated because a lot of millennials, for example, are leasing and are renting and are not interested in buying anymore because the market's not what it used to be when Dave Ramsey was like making books.
Nah, I wouldn't
It's
say
a different economy, completely
say-
different. He was making most of those books before like the market crashed. I mean, most of those books were made before 2008, before that depression period.
I would still say, I mean, if you look at the base reason why he says do not lease a car is because simply
No, right.
you will never own that car and you will only ever have to pay for a car. Where if you pay for it, and that comes with basically you're paying for the interest, you're paying for all that. You know, so basically you'll never get away from a payment. Where if you actually
Yeah.
buy a car, then your budget, you don't have to worry about that expense. That is done. You know, all you have to worry
I feel
about is
good about
maintenance.
that. I'm just saying that there is another opinion on it where people are saying that the maintenance that comes with keeping an older car around and then also what it does to the ecosystem, all different types of reasons why people don't want to have an older car around. The maintenance, they're saying it'd be actually cheaper just to make those smaller lease payments and more economical in the long run. There's a whole like argument on that.
Yeah.
Same with houses because the resale value isn't enough in a certain amount of times, and that even owning it, you're going to end up paying so much more money than you would if you're renting, because if that water heater goes out, you're not responsible for that cost.
I'm gonna challenge you here on this one because I feel so strongly on it to say
I
that
want to buy a house.
Right.
That's my goal, but I'm
That
like,
is a misconception mind state that you're living in, believing that you should not buy a house, you should only rent because you don't have to fix it for a water heater or whatever. Because a home is a foundation for financial freedom. There's no other really, if you look at any number, if you actually run numbers, you talk to any specialist owning a home, and the car's not as drastic, but it's still the same principle: is own what the most you can, because you'll always just be behind the 8 ball otherwise. And you're just gonna make somebody else money.
Right.
no, it's good to hear that because I hear the other opinions on it. I've been wanting to buy a house, and sometimes when I read like these blogs or these other posts about how it's more economical not to buy a house anymore, I do question like, is that really the right choice for me? So I'm glad that you said that because I would like to have that foundation and that security. And
Sometimes, you know, people, when you sell your home, if you ever sell it to upgrade or whatever, for whatever reason, it's like you lived rent-free for 5 years, you know, because usually you can get all your money back.
Yeah, especially with a home, they're really stable with the value. Cars are more volatile; they go up and down. But another thing he does say though is, I mean, he would never advise you to buy a car unless it's over 4 years old, because in that first 4 years, you buy a car for 30, 40,000, and as soon as you pull off, a week later you try to pull back up, you're gonna get half of that. So cars are crap investments in that way, where a home, you buy it this year. I mean, there are some rare cases in today's market where you may lose a little bit, especially if you're tearing your house up, not taking care of things. But still, you buy a house for, just to say, $100,000. You pull back up a week later, you're gonna get that $100,000. You pull up 10 years later, you might get $110,000. You possibly might get $95,000,
right.
but not very likely. You're always gonna get your money back out of a property investment.
Back to yours, have you taken like a homeowner's buying course? I bought my first house when I was 21, and I wish I would have taken a course before.
I definitely will. No, I didn't take a course yet. I haven't. I'm just now getting into the stages where I want to start saving. I need that emergency savings first, and then I'll start saving for a house. But where can we take these courses? Because I definitely would want to.
Are free. I would check with if you're interested in a certain realtor or whatever, calling and seeing if they have those. But a lot of banks, I know Veridian has a bunch of different programs. They are amazing. They have a lot of match programs too. So if you're getting ready to buy a house, I believe it's between $2,000 and $4,000 that they'll match if it's your first home. So for 6 months or a year or whatever it is, you make the deposit, they match it.
Wow.
So Veridian has amazing programs. They do that with the first-time car. They do that with the house. They do it with student loans. And there's another one. I'm sorry, I can't think of it off the top of my head. But researching and looking for this stuff, that's free money. Somebody's going to give you up to $4,000 for free to purchase your house. You're going to take that.
Wow.
But it comes with patience. A lot of, like you said, we move so fast that we need it now and that instant gratification, that if we took the time and waited 6 months or a year, somebody's going to give you free money.
Yeah.
Perfect.
That's awesome. I'll definitely be checking those programs out. Thank you so much.
Perfect. Well, I appreciate everybody coming on and speaking on this topic. It's a hard one for people, and I could know everything I need to know about how to do it, but it's about the discipline of sticking with the
And
things.
did you grow up with parents to kind of like set that example for you or teach you these things about money? I didn't. So I'm just, this is kind of, I love having this type of talk because I didn't have.
Right. Well, my
people to show
parents,
me this.
in my case, my parents, they took care of the business and stuff. Worked a job, we're not swimming in money, nothing like that by any means, but my mom worked for a company, I'll say, for a long time. And, my dad did some carpentry work and does some different things. And they're still working. So, yeah, but it really, all that didn't really apply to me. I mean, I got the Dave Ramsey book. I read all, that's when it really, they kind of were an example, but I was seeing, but
Probably spending habits. I mean, just like having that foundation. I'm asking because I want to set like a really good example for my children someday. So I think it always starts in the home. And then if you don't have that example, I think you're responsible to go out there and get like a Dave Ramsey book and become a seeker and figure out how to solve these problems, because we didn't all grow up with an example, but you can't use that as an excuse always, right?
it's about the discipline, though.
Yeah,
That's
it
what
really-
everything. I think
really,
that's the
really
main
is.
part where everybody lacks. I've known how to do some of this stuff, but that didn't matter. And it still don't matter if I choose to go out to eat more than I can afford.
Right.
It's
like-
almost like set $50 aside a month. Challenge yourself,
Yeah.
like you said,
Yeah.
make it a game.
It is. It's
I
a
like
game.
It is a
I'm like,
financial
"Ooh, I
game.
think
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's like
also
you're playing.
Make your. How about if that made your reward system and dopamine go off, like
Right.
seeing your savings account
Yes,
increase?
that's
well,
what's gotta
and
be.
Train
feed your
yourself.
mind those ideas of financial acumen too. Like, I wouldn't say I'm like a genius with money, but I didn't have anybody to show me either. But I hit those books hard, like I'm hitting the gym. Like, and I focus on, like, that's mainly the things that I read about. You know,
You read
so-
that Dave Ramsey Total Money Makeover. We ain't even getting paid for this. We should be getting
Right, I know.
Sometimes
Right?
you
Where's the
say Dave
sponsor
Ramsey.
at? But there's a lot of books. Is there any other books that anybody
That's
suggests?
the one that changed. I mean, that brought he covers everything.
Okay, I really like The Joy of Business. That's a really good one. And then, mainly The Joy
there
of Business.
is
That's
a
a
really
good
good
one.
book that I read recently, and it was. I'm going to have to put it in the comment section. Sorry.
What is it?
I can't remember the name.
Yeah.
I think it was like Millionaire Mindset or something. But it literally goes into how every $5 coffee that you spend, and it shows you the math on how it can accumulate into more and more and more.
Yeah, if you were saving that money.
Yeah.
See, I'm a big investor. I'll take a little more risk than but like for me, I'm in the DJ business, so instead of me having 5,000 sitting there, sometimes it's just an extra amount of money. I look at it like, okay, well, I can get another DJ set up for that, and then I can, that's just where I'm at in my business right now. So,
But there's a big picture for you.
and it's not as volatile as like, hey, I'm gonna invest in something I don't know. I know, if you know certain things, then you're more confident in it. But yeah.
Absolutely. We talked about that one time where, like buying things that can make you money. Like if you spend the money for a lawnmower, mow your neighbor's yards. Snow blow your neighbor's drives.
Right.
All those things can be things that you use to make.
Like buying tools,
Yeah.
buying your work tools. stuff
Yeah,
like that.
anytime that you make a purchase, just be like, hey, is there an opportunity for, now you don't have to start a brand new business, but I mean, if over the year you mow your neighbor's yard, 12 times, then you paid for your lawnmower.
Right. Right. Yeah.
That's not too much extra work,
Just a little extra exercise.
Right.
Yeah, certain little things like that. And then just looking for opportunities, So.
All right, y'all. Well, I appreciate this conversation.
Thank you.
Thanks for
Yeah.
having us.
Thank you
sure.
so much.
All right. Save your money.